I used to think news is news. It's all the same. But it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
Welcome to an edition of our Community Access. This week we'll check out our fire departments at the Burning Oak Restaurant. Then we went to Banbury for a fundraiser. Then we had another ribbon cutting in Oxford. Then a Terry visit with Seymour Park, where they are fixing out the old fields. And finally, we have visited with the Clear Lake Kindergarten. All today on our Community Access. Welcome back. The Oxford Fire Department had a drill at the now closed Burning Oak Restaurant. Let's watch some of the drill.
So what we're doing here is we have a really neat opportunity for us. This vacant building that was a restaurant has came up and they're allowing us to do some training in it, which doesn't happen for us very often. So when we get that opportunity to train in a real situation, it's really important. So what we're doing here is we're going over commercial structure fires, which is something that we don't see a lot of, thankfully, but when we do, we need to know how to respond to them, and it's a little bit different than residential. And what we're going over is both the first due and second due engine responsibilities, and then how to flake hose around tight corners and moving with a larger hose line, because for a commercial structure, large fire, we're going to use larger hose, like a 2.5. Pretty much the reason why we're here today is to stretch hose through a commercial building and go over how we'd actually fight a live fire in it. So the reason why there's two trucks is luckily this part of the township is hydrated. So when there's two trucks, anytime that you have a fire this side, we're actually going to call what's called a box alarm, and we would land up having probably 15 trucks here if this thing was actually burning because of the fire load. The truck's only capable of putting out enough water to supply, or to put out enough water to put out so much fire. The second truck in this case, this first truck is what we call a lead or tack or a fighting engine. It's what we're actually pulling the hose off and going into the fire. The other one, because we have such low manpower on fire scenes, is going to supply water to it from the hydrant. So that's supplying this truck because we only have so much onboard water. And it's also doing what's called tagging the hydrant. So it's getting hydrant water to that truck, then supplying this one. And then it's going to supply the actual FDC, which is the fire department connection on the other side of the building, which supplies the sprinkler system. The sprinkler system is only really designed to flow through so many heads at one time. If we hook a fire truck to it, obviously we can pump more water in and be able to supply a lot more heads to really assist us. You know, because sprinkler heads put out a lot of fire, so hopefully it knocks it down before we even get in there. So what we've been doing with training is we've been really training very hard lately and trying to get it to where we train every day on shift, and then we paid on calls, train with the full-time multiple times a month and multiple times a week. And whenever we start with something, like this being kind of getting after commercial fires and having a building that we can actually do it in, we start ground level and we do it where we can see and we can talk about it and we can go over it, and then each time that we do it we'll progress into those things where we'll be blacked out or have smoke in the building or make things a little bit harder to where it's less instruction and more just doing and making it harder and more realistic each time. So we try to build on it every time for training. The next step, we will probably add smoke into the building, do some blackout scenarios, change the scenario up a little bit, and just make it a little bit harder on the guys. Hopefully we'll have a little more people here next time. We'll add some ladder operations, have the tower up, get on the roof. We'll be cutting holes in this roof. We'll be doing a lot more interior work. We'll probably set up some large diameter or large space search and rescue because it's a pretty big floor plan. There's a vast spectrum of people. There's everything from 6 months to one that's actually joining Fire Academy next in, I believe, January Fire Academy starts. So she's kind of hanging out and seeing what's going on, to our assistant chief who's been here for pushing 40 years. So it's a little bit of everything. I think it went really well. It's hot out today, so I mean everybody's kind of getting kind of wore down, and we got to get stuff back on trucks and get them back in service. But it always goes well. It's a great group of guys, and we couldn't really ask to work with a better group of people than what we have here in Oxford.
The instruction has not set a time, but we will be there to show it when it happens.
Banbury Cross has been in existence for 27 years now. We were initially started by a couple in the Metamora area who started the program with just a handful of volunteers, a couple of riders at their home farm. And then as they grew and they served more riders and had more volunteers, they kind of outgrew their family farm. And so we've been at this property for 14, 15 years now. Today is our annual open house and show that we have once a year. Just gives our riders the opportunity to demonstrate all of the skills that they've been working on year-round to their family and friends, and it's also a really good chance for people who might be interested in our program, whether as potential volunteers or riders or supporters, to come out and check out what we do here. So we do a theme every year for our horse show. This year we did a superhero theme, and we did that because really, I mean, in our own right, all of us are superheroes to some extent, you know. Our horses, our riders, our volunteers, our staff, everybody has their own little superpower. And so today it's just our way to highlight our horses and our riders being superheroes and doing everything to the best of their ability.
We came here for the horse show, and I did a good job on Troy, although he just had a good time going backwards though. But I did a good job on Troy though. Nathan really was proud of me, and even Miss Jessica. Years ago, I ride on different horses. There's one I did Dakota for a year and a half, and a couple of years I did Doodlebug. And for 2 years, for this my final year, I was with Troy.
Caleb is accepted for who he is. He loves coming here. He has good friends and fellowship here, and we've just seen him grow and mature in a lot of ways since he started here.
So it was a great time doing this though, and hope you all have a good time and a nice full afternoon.
Well, our purpose is to help all individuals that have some form of special need, whether it's cognitive, physical, emotional, social, to gain their highest potential. So we do that by working with the horse, working with trained volunteers, trained staff, to help each individual become as independent as they possibly can be. From a physical standpoint, riding a horse is really the only way to perfectly mimic the walking movement that humans do. So from a physical therapeutic standpoint, it helps riders who may be working on physical goals with core strength, balance, overall strengthening, hip flexor motor movement, and then just using the horse as a tool for therapy or as a partner in our therapy does great things for confidence and for social skills, because horses are large animals. They can be intimidating, and so for our riders to form a relationship with these horses that are something larger than themselves, it does great things for self-confidence and for also just for forming that relationship, for having that social skill in that relationship with something other than their family and their peers. And our riders tend to stay with the same group of riders week to week and year round, and so that's also a great thing for their social development, because they get to become friends with the individuals that they learn, both volunteers and co-riders alike. And we found that even with our riders' parents and caregivers that come week after week with them, and they get to know the other riders' parents and caregivers, it's like a second group of friends for them as well. They've gotten to know each other over the years, and they become resources for one another and just good friends. And we have people that request to be in the same ride time as other families, because they simply have really gotten to like each other. Watch our riders in action. So some of them are riders who have been with us for years and have really been honing those skills. But any of our classes, if you have a chance to watch any of them, and you'll be amazed. We have little miracles, we have big miracles that happen on a daily basis, and it's inspiring.
Good job. Next, Terry, visit with Jeff Natz from the Oxford Park and Recreation to show us about the improvements at the old ball field. Terry?
So hi Bill, we keep hearing about all the activity out at Seymour Lake Park, so we decided to come out here and meet up with Jeff Kines, who's one of the park's managers, right?
Yep, park superintendent.
Okay,
Yep.
superintendent, and to find out what's going on. And right now, there's all kinds of activity going on behind us. We are at the softball fields at the park, right?
Yep, the Elise Prince softball fields. Those were dedicated to her, and we're in the process, as you can see behind us. We've got 2 fields torn out. Stuff will be going back in today. We're going to finish 2, and then we're going to tear out the 2 behind us and start on those. We should be done with this project by the end of September, first week of October, if all goes well with the weather and conditions out here.
So then there's 4 softball fields,
4
right?
softball fields, yep.
4 softball fields will be brand spanking new.
Brand new. We're going to have on the fields, we're going to upgrade from what we had. We're going to upgrade and put caps on top of the fences to protect the kids from foul balls on the dugouts. We're doing a few improvements like that. So yeah, it's going to be really, really nice when they get done.
Yeah, so these fields have been here for a while.
Probably close to 40 years would be my guess.
Unreal.
Yeah, yep.
That's really great. And how about the baseball fields over there? What status are they at?
They're right now where they're at. That'll be something we'll probably tackle down the road. Those went in after these fields, so there's probably 10 years difference between the two.
Oh, wow.
That would be my guess. So
Yeah.
down the road, we'll probably tackle doing something like that and redoing those possibly too.
Okay, so Parks and Recs Department has done a lot of upgrades out here. Can we recap that? What have we been doing this past summer and what's ahead?
Yeah, we've got a lot on our plate this year. We started up front on the tennis courts. Those are now complete, so we have 4 new tennis courts. And what we did with tennis courts, with them being new, is we made them pickleball courts too. So we just separated lines and made separate courts inside the tennis courts, which there's a big calling for pickleball now. So that'll be exciting for people that play pickleball. So that's all new. We doubled the size of the tennis court parking lot up there. We doubled the size of the softball parking lot here. We did all the ADA improvements through the whole park. The tennis courts have ADA parking. The softball fields have ADA parking. The Smith Silo has ADA parking. And field 4 on the baseball is also ADA compliant now, where you can get right out on the field and go right up to the benches and get right out there. So there's been a lot of exciting things going on with that kind of stuff. It's been a long time coming. So
Well, sure, but it's
yeah.
slow and steady.
It's slow
You're
and steady,
winning
and
the
we're
race.
going. And this is just one of the parks that we're
Right.
tackling. All 4 parks are getting improvements. So
Are they all? Are you doing them all at once? Or are you doing like one park at a time or one project at a time?
well, originally we thought we could do more, but these projects have turned out to be pretty big. So we've concentrated on this park this year, and we're going to hit Stony after the holiday weekend here, and we're going to do most of the work at Stony this year. So between this park and Stony, probably about 3/4 of the work will be done in those 2 parks. We still have a sled hill and an ice skating rink out back. It's going to go probably next year, we're
At
thinking.
Seymour Lake.
At Seymour Lake Township Park, yep. And that's going to be exciting too, to have ice skating here in the winter. So we believe that's going to take off next year now. Powell Lake Park, we're looking at pavilion. We're looking at new ramps, or not ramps, but bridges going through the park. We're looking at a fishing pier going off the Pollyann that ties in with our park, so people can get out and view the beautiful Powell Lake out there
Powell
with all
Lake
the
is
wildlife.
behind the library, right?
Yep, behind the library, yep. And it comes off the Pollyann too. And then Oakwood will also be getting improvements. We're going to put disc golf pads out there. ADA parking also out there.
Nice.
And there's just a lot of stuff going on. I try to recall it all.
Parks
It's
and
here.
Recs in Oxford.
yeah.
Not to mention the new Parks and Recs location
Yep.
offices, which has taken up a lot of everybody's time.
It
as
sure
well.
has. That was a big project, and we brought that in right on time. So that was all local contractors, and it worked out great. Everybody worked with us all the way through it. The township, everybody was jumping in to help us get that done, and we got it done.
And you're not done with that yet. We're waiting for phase 2 for a community center. Right?
Yep, we're looking at a community/senior type center.
Nice.
And then we're also kicking around the idea of bringing you guys out here with
I
us.
sure would like that. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of things on our plate to do yet. So, but we're excited about it. I mean, we look forward to this kind of stuff.
Well,
So-
obviously, and you guys do such a great job. You're such good stewards of the money that goes into the Parks and Recs
Well, thank you.
in Oxford. Well, I want to thank you as well. Let's remind people, these projects are going on now. What are the park hours, especially for Seymour Lake Park, because that's a busy park as far as
We usually do a
communities.
daylight to dusk kind of thing because there's not much you can do after dark. I mean, I believe it's 10 at night that they technically close. So people will come in and, you know, they'll sit and do
Lot of
whatever and
disc
have a lunch.
golfing
And
and-
there's disc golfing going on, but mostly it's daylight to dusk on most of the parks.
And then do you close during the winter? Or
No,
how
the
does
parks
that work?
are all open all winter. We have people that come out here and cross-country ski. The sled
Nice.
hill's open.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to do out here in the winter. The same with disc golfers come out in the winter. I see tracks in the snow.
Oh, is that right?
They're hardcore guys.
Oh,
Yeah, they
that's
come out
neat.
and I see them out there. So, yeah.
And then Oakwood Park, you can do a lot of bird watching, and regardless of what time of the year.
You
In
can-
fact, I
yeah.
understand people are seeing eagles out there
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. You can see any kind of wildlife. I've seen just about everything there is out there.
Oh, that's
I've seen otter. I've seen mink,
Wow.
pheasants, coyote. I mean, you got deer, turkey. I mean, so just about anything you can imagine. And then with our lakes out there, there's fish in the lakes.
Fishing allowed, no hunting, right?
No hunting allowed, no hunting, but
Yeah.
you can fish.
Oh,
No
that's
permit
wonderful.
required. Just go in and fish.
Aren't we lucky?
Yes, we are. These are some beautiful parks.
Yeah, they are.
I can
And
attest to that.
I've been out there with Jeff. I got the grand tour. I really recommend that everybody enjoy our parks. Nothing's closed down except for the baseball or softball fields right now, but
Yep.
they're not using them anyhow, right?
Right, our programs are done for softball this year, this time of year. So yeah, they're closed down because we have people out back right now playing on the fields. There's a group of seniors that meet out there and play once or twice
Oh,
a week.
that's
So
fantastic.
we just told them to head out there and they're playing out there right now. So there's always activity in the park.
And soccer season is heating up.
That's going to start next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but the Saturday after the holiday weekend. That's the
great.
official start of soccer. So yeah, that'll take off and this park will be bustling again with that.
Any questions on any of the parks around here, please feel free to call the Parks and Recs office, which is 1720, right? 628
Yep, 1720.
Contact Jeff, Ron Davis, Lauren. Please come out and enjoy our parks. It's your money being put to very good use. And thank you for being a
Yeah,
good steward.
and just as a reminder, our offices have moved from uptown
That's
out
right.
to the Seymour Lake Township Park. So they're right up front. You can't miss them.
Easy to get to.
Yep.
Back to you, Bill.
That park is an amazing park. People are always having great times at Seymour Park. Next up is a meet and greet at Clear Lake Kindergarten.
Tonight is our kindergarten meet and greet, so all the kids and their parents are going to be able to come. They're going to be able to meet us, check out the room, bring their supplies, and then we will talk about our day and our curriculum and let them kind of just check things out. Really important, especially for kindergartners because they're new to the building, so it's their first time in the building. They gotta get to check it out before everyone else comes out and before the first day of school.
You're gonna shake my hand.
It's just, they're in a new environment, it's brand new to them, so we get some of them that are really excited, some of them that are really nervous, and we're just kind of there to bring them into the school year and show them what it's all about. Reading and writing, again, a lot of social stories and how to get along with kids and how to work and play with kids, and letter recognition, number recognition, all those little things, and play too. Gotta include that. You never know what to expect, which is fun too. So you kind of, that's what's good about kindergarten too, is they come in brand new, and so you always see what's gonna happen.
Next up, another great ribbon cutting, this time for the Abbey Ridge Apartments.
Hello and welcome everyone. We are so excited to be here today to celebrate with Abbey Ridge Apartment Homes, pardon me. We're excited to be here with them and their wonderful staff. My name is Nicole Sturrett. I am the Executive Director at the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. Abbey Ridge has these wonderful luxury apartments that overlook this beautiful golf course, and it's just minutes from downtown Oxford, where we have all of our wonderful restaurants, shops, and everything that you need within your reach. We're also very excited to have all of our public officials here today and a lot of our board from the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. So on behalf of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce and this wonderful community, our Oxford community, welcome. At this time, we're going to have Bob say a few words with regards to this beautiful facility.
I'm Bob Katzman. I'm one of the owners of Abbey Ridge, and I happen to live in Metamora, and I've been out here for 20 years. I've been driving by this piece of vacant property for many years, and came to the conclusion that this would be a great place to live and build these apartments. What's good for all of the people in the community here is that we were talking about this today, that we project probably right now in phase one we'll have 550 people moving in, which is a lot. Phase two is probably another 350. It'll be another 100 apartments, and then in the future we'll have 120, 30 condominiums on the golf course, which is going to bring well over 1,000 people into the community, which is good for everyone. Because Oxford is a great place to be in the village and the township, and I have to thank, by the way, dealing with the township officials here, getting this approved. This has taken us 4 years since we first bought it. We're tied it up, and now we have people living here. And they're in building 1, and tomorrow they move into building 2, and hopefully we'll enjoy all the benefits that the village and the township have to offer. So I want to thank everybody for coming here today at our ribbon cutting.
We'll get ready to do that. I'm just so excited. Oh no, we're almost there. We're just very excited that you guys are here and you're so close to these wonderful schools that Oxford has to offer. The school district is great. Oxford has so much things to offer, like I said before, with their shops and their restaurants, and we're so close to expressways, and we're just very excited for you guys to be here in this beautiful place. This clubhouse behind us is beautiful. Come and check it out. See what's inside. It's absolutely amazing. They spared no expense. It's gorgeous on the inside. I would like to present you the certificate from the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. There you go. And we thank you so much for choosing Oxford as your home. Now we're going to let you use those scissors. All right, everybody, let's do the countdown. Oh, here we go. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Please check out this beautiful place. Please make it your new home. If you have any questions, this wonderful staff is here to help you. Thank you, and have a great day.
Well, it's something that took 4 years to get to this point of occupancy. I looked at this, again, 4 years ago. We bought the land, and being in the apartment and development business, building business, we decided this would be a great location. Oxford would be a great location for an apartment complex. Well, the first phase is 140 units, and with the clubhouse and swimming pool. We're going to have another phase, probably started next year, another 100 units, with condominiums also going in on the golf course. We've had elderly people in here buying or renting rather, and all different kinds. It's really interesting. We have some families, we have some single people, and we have some young professionals. It's really all over the place. Because we have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom, and several of the 1 bedrooms are on the first floor, so they have their own. Every unit has their own access door, but some are on grade level, and in a way, this is a luxury apartments or community because it has the pool, the clubhouse, the exercise room, bike paths here, and so to me it's luxury, and the real good thing about this, nothing has been built in this area for at least 15 years. So everything is at least 15 years old without, the certain amenities that you would have today, and everything is new. It's all brand new. clubhouse, has an area where you can have parties and meetings and have a baby shower here. And I would expect that during the year they'll have like a Super Bowl party here, and especially when next summer when the pool opens up, there'll be all sorts of things happening around the pool. It's exciting watching people move into a new community.
Well, that's all the time for this week. We hope you enjoyed our program. So, for our photographers Janet Warner and Kyle Snag, and our reporter Terry Stiles and editor Ashley Point, I'm Bill Service, and you have a great, great week.
Hi, I'm Melanie from Canine Stray Rescue League. This is Rosie. Rosie's been here for a little while. Rosie is a Terrier Shepherd mix. She knows basic commands like sit, down. She can do a little bit of a dance. She's 5 years old. She'd be best in a house with no cats. She's pretty playful. She would need like an invisible fence or a tie out, or someone that's willing to walk her a lot. Here at Canine Stray Rescue League, we rescue dogs from euthanasia from different cities and states, some up north and some locally. We are here Mondays 1 to 4. Tuesdays and Wednesdays we are closed. Thursdays we are here 1 to 4. Fridays we're here 2 to 6, and Saturdays we're here 11 to 4, I'm sorry, and then 1 to 4 on Sundays. In September our hours are going to reduce just a little bit on Fridays and Saturdays though. You can see any of our dogs at caninestray.com. We have everybody listed there. Come to the kennel sometime, that would be awesome. We'd love to show you our dogs.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.